Serena, you're a business owner now and running your own firm in partnership with, correct me if I'm wrong, but Greystoke is closing in on $500 million worth of assets.
Ah, yes.
Wow.
They're
So
moving and shaking.
So you're representing over $500 million in assets now, in a short period of time, experiencing great success. I'm curious what you would tell other owners and what you do tell owners that you bring on in terms of internet technology at your properties, and how you encourage them to, make decisions in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. So it can be really hard because sometimes being the first, like, we were one of the first to kind of champion the instant on, and being the first in any new technology can be really stressful. There's a lot of pressure that you made the right decision, that you led the investors in the right direction, that you're doing what's in the best interest of the residents. you know, I really pride myself on honesty. And so when I'm looking at a decision that I'm going to recommend, something that I'm going to back, I have to ask myself, like, do I truthfully feel that it's in the best interest of the asset and the property? And so I want to put myself in the residents' shoes. The residents rely on the internet. I personally rely on my internet to work from home, to feed my family, to put a roof over their head. Like, we're impacting people's livelihood. And so we really have to take it seriously, and we have to make those recommendations based on what's truthfully best, and not just what is going to be a good investment. You need to find that
Right.
balance between them. And so one of the things that I encourage operators to do, from like the on-site level or even regional managers, is to talk to their team or to their residents. Reach out to the residents, find out how it's working for them, find out what has worked for them, what hasn't worked for them, what they would like to see, what could make their life easier. Some, property management companies like to send surveys out, things like that, just really having that personal connection and making sure that you're following up on what's working, not working, and having their best interests in mind. And so then I think the next step is just finding a company like I found in Quantum Fiber that is highly regarded, one that's trusted in the industry, and one that is going to be honest with you. It's important that there are honest expectations and then delivery on those expectations from the beginning. And so I would always say to trust, or to go with a trusted source. I think that is
Uh,
absolutely key. Um,
I couldn't
but
agree more. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And just like with you and I, after all these years, you build relationships in this industry in all aspects. You learn who you trust, and those are the people that you're going to back. And so when I'm having conversations with different investment partners, with Greystoke Capital, the Greystoke Capital team, I'm making a recommendation. That doesn't mean they always choose my recommendation, but
Sure.
they put a lot of weight in my opinion as the operator, and in my on-site team's opinion as well. And so we ultimately can make that recommendation that we feel is best for the residents and for the asset and the property, and then leave it up to them. But ultimately, Quantum Fiber has delivered for me time and time again. And so they're always the first name that I put out there. And it's also exciting leading the charge in new technology. You have something that is different that nobody else offers. And so it's always really exciting too, even though it can be kind of scary taking that first step. It's coupled with a lot of excitement surrounding being the latest and greatest in technology.
Serena, I met you as a property manager or assistant property manager, actually, back when we helped, get you over to Quantum Fiber Service and save the day. And since then, I mean, every time I emailed you, I felt like that your signature would change, and it's like,
Yeah.
property manager, regional manager, and then now you're an owner of Fortified. So why don't you introduce who you are, and yeah, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and your story.
I was um, running a contractor's business, and you eventually get to the point where you're like, okay, where's my challenge? Where's something new? And Greystoke Capital Partners kept reaching out to me. I kept telling them, like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. So they had brought me on 2 years ago to be an asset manager and oversee their portfolio that was currently being managed by third-party management companies. And recently, we have decided to create it. It was incepted January 1st, 2024. We decided to kind of fill that gap in property management and create our own property management company. So Now I'm the president of Fortified Property Solutions. We solely manage the investments owned by Greystoke Capital Partners and their investment partners. So we currently property manage and asset manage over 20 assets for them in 6 different states. So we really have focused on kind of that Intermountain West region. And when we started in January of 2024, we had 9 employees. We're now on track in the next couple of weeks to be at 50, and so it's been
Wow.
really exciting journey, and yeah, it's been a crazy ride over the last 2 years.
That's impressive. Wow. 5x growth, right?
Yeah, it's fun and it's hard, but I love it.